Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. This is for them. We know it is for them, but my neck is here, so they are giving to me. So, if you want to hear more and more and more, then hear more and more and more of the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. And how to know the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam? Through Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the message of Bhagavatam. And he quotes from Bhagavatam in so many of his conversations throughout the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he's giving us the salient points, the important points from Bhagavatam, which itself is the summary, the conclusion that Vedavyas gave. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has given us what is Srimad Bhagavatam. And then those who are following the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told everyone, come to Rupa Goswami. I'm giving this all to Rupa Goswami. I'm establishing him as the head. And he asked all of his associates, you please bless him. And they all happily giving blessing to Rupa Goswami. So in this current Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, down to our present time, then we can hear the sweetness, the sweetest, the sweeter, morest, the sweetest of the sweetest, and the continuing journey of sweetness all the way through. Just now you were seeing the website absolutesweetness.org, and there you will see so many pictures, but you will hear so many of the talks of Srila Gurudev. And absolute sweetness.
Absolute sweetness, for sure.
Absolutesweetness.org.
That is absolute sweetness.
So when you sat down, you asked for a book. So now it is clear it was not a mathematics textbook, not a geography textbook, not a history textbook, not a biology textbook, not an astrology textbook, not an astronomy textbook, but a book about the ultimate conclusion of life, the ultimate purpose of life. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and those scriptures in pursuance of those teachings. And for us in particular, coming through the sweet, approachable, affectionate lotus mouth of Srila Govinda Maharaj, we have got so much guidance, even in ordinary simple talks, giving very substantial things, always.
Always.
And he, everything Gurudev doing for Guru Maharaj, representing Guru Maharaj. And there was one professor in Calcutta when Gurudev was young, fairly, I do not know how young in the mission, but quite new in the mission. And for maybe 1 hour, he had some conversation with Govinda Maharaj. And later, that professor met Srila Sridhar Maharaj and said to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, this boy, or this young man, Gorendu, Brahmachari that time, he will be able to properly represent you. He will be able to represent you very well. You look after him. And he told to Guru Maharaj, and don't take my words lightly. I am the head of, I see thousands of students. Maybe he was the principal of one of the colleges. Maybe he said, I see thousands of students. I understand about the nature of students. So don't take my words lightly. This boy, he can properly represent you. He will be a very good representative of you. So all these points, giving us an indication, and gave to Guru Maharaj also. Guru Maharaj giving affection to Govinda Maharaj and appreciate everything, but Guru Maharaj hearing the input from other persons too. And then this way we've got our very sweet journey mapped out for us with so much guidance. But we have to follow the guidance. We can't just hear all the good things and sit back and think, okay, that was a nice TV program, turn it off and then do something completely different. Because it's not a TV program, it is guidance of life, which is meant that after we hear, we try to do something in accordance with that. And you've been trying for, well, you're only 21 years old, so at 21 years at least. You've been trying, and we are all trying. Trying to be devotees, trying to follow their advices, singing the bhajans which have been given to us as clear advice for us from Narottam Thakur, from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from Vasudev Ghosh. We've been reading them from Vasudev Ghosh and different authors, but principally Narottam Das Thakur, and then Guru Maharaj said, then when Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he presented many bhajans, kirtans for us, then the Gaudiya Vaishnavas originally were mainly singing Narottam Das Thakur songs, and then the very substantial, additionally singing the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And then, today we've got very substantial songs from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev to add to that. And our mat, we are chanting Sujana Buddha Radita Pada Yugang every day. But really, you can say most of the Gaudiya mats, I don't go visiting the Gaudiya mats, especially during we're in our temple during the evening arati anyway. But in Vrindavan, where our temple is, nearby there are so many Gaudiya mat branches. I'm not necessarily meaning the official name of Gaudiya mat, but the branches and sub-branches of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Gaudiya mat. And we hear this Sujana Buddha Radita Pada Yugang, and we're feeling very happy to hear that, because those acharyas who run those temples, they appreciate. Here is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's representation, so nicely presented in kirtan form, in bhajan form, coming from the pen of Srila Guru Maharaj. And Prema Dharmadeva Stotram, everywhere. And actually, one of our well-travelled God brothers recently told me, well-travelled means does visit other temples. And, we don't really agree that they do that so much. But told recently, said, actually I've been to so many of the different Gaudiya mat, like branch temples, and they're all giving Guru Maharaj's idea. We understand that from what was given within the other missions 30 years ago, then it has evolved to now basically they're all looking to Guru Maharaj's teachings and writings, and this way they are either openly or hiddenly, but they are, without giving credit to where they've got the information, they're giving that. So you see, Guru Maharaj's influence is very, very broad, and it is fortunate, but it is most fortunate if they will give credit for where they are getting the conceptions, and not just to say something that this is my realization, that beauty over power, and all these expressions that have come, and they're basically unique to Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. So the world goes on, and we are very freshly under the freshly cleaned and polished guardianship of the Sampradaya. So we need to make the most of it, because we never know what will happen in the future, where we will land on our feet or on our heads or anything else when we next take our birth. Will we come out with our head in the right place or our head in the wrong place? In other words, I don't mean physically, but will we come out with our head at the feet of the Vaishnavas of our line, or will we come out in some other way? And as Guru Maharaj said, the time we have in our hand now, this is our capital. And we need to utilize this as carefully as possible. Trust no future, however bright. And being only 21 years old, you may have another 80 years to live. So we're not saying that the future is short. But we need to, the past, bury the past, the future, not to trust. The present is in our hand, and we'll try to hear good advice each day and try to follow the good advice that comes. And what are the two things you have to do? The big advice. You know already, because we said yesterday or the day before.
Never forget the Lord.
And
chant His holy name.
Well, okay, yes, but never forget the Lord, and opposite of that is?
Never forget Him.
Always remember Him. Two things to do.
Always remember?
Yeah, that's...
What did I say then? Did I not?
Chant the holy name. You said never forget Him.
First, and then always...
But they
same.
Okay, there are two things. One is like the positive and one is the negative. Always, so the positive is always remember the Lord.
Always remember.
And the second one is never forget the Lord. So that's the direction that's given. And if I knew Sanskrit, I would tell you the Sanskrit for it. But we have heard it so many times, the two directions. But yes, to always chant the holy name of the Lord. Govinda. And so many books. We were in a library, we were in the university, anyway, at a university very recently, where more than one of our devotees, where different of our devotees have been and got their degrees and everything, and where Goswami Maharaj gave a lecture 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 years ago in the recent past. The university was in Budapest? No, in Szeged in the south of Hungary. And we went to this university, and we could see the way that there's a big hole in the middle. You know, the construction is around, and then there's a hole in the middle, and it's all covered over. But you could see the library, and it was floor by floor by floor of library. It wasn't like one floor. And then each floor, it's all divided into different parts of departments of knowledge. In the library in the university, they don't have fiction. In the library of the university, they got, the different subject matters which are being studied, which include, we listed just before, mathematics, biology, everything else, but also, philosophy, music, dance, art, so many divisions which come in. So many books are there. Almost like you can say the Vedas. They are describing so many different aspects. When you see the different previous Vedas, Veda Vyas, he then gave that conclusion after being dissatisfied, after finishing his work. He's dissatisfied and really can't understand why. Then, when he really was at a puzzle, completely puzzled, and can't understand what haven't I done which I should have done, Narada Muni came to him. Narada Muni, his Gurudev, came to him and said, yes, you are unsatisfied because you have not made clear what is the conclusion of all this knowledge, what is the ultimate message of the Veda. And this is how Srimad Bhagavatam came. So Srimad Bhagavatam, and how to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, it is through the devotees. And we are so fortunate that Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself, but in the mood of devotee, and showing his brilliant scholarship in his younger age, undefeated by anybody, by Keshava Kashmiri, by all these great Pandits, undefeated. He showed, undefeated, how ultimately the chanting the Maha Mantra is what we are to do, to wake up our love of God, not just God the big power in the sky, but the power comes from the powerful, and that ultimately coming past the Narayan conception, past the Ramachandra conception, all coming up to Krishna. And Mahaprabhu has shown the Radha-Krishna conception all the way through. And that in Kali Yuga we have the chance to go in one leap practically from here to there, whereas in the previous ages it was not possible. So that library full of thousands and thousands of books, all departments, what is the real education, the real conclusion of education is we need to chant in service mood, with affection, with love, with humility, with tolerance, with giving honor to others, without making offense, without being envious. All these things. Beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam says this is for the non-envious persons. If you're envious, read something else. Non-envious. And then I was hearing Srila Guru Maharaj talk just very recently, and Srila Guru Maharaj saying that if we cannot fully surrender to Krishna, if we cannot accept that He is all in all and going to be good, that there is no harm to be there, we're keeping something ourselves. No, I'm going to keep my little way. Then he said that there must be some enviousness there somewhere, that there is somebody really who is so great that I can rely on, that I have my importance. So this is another aspect of our chanting process. I just gave a good advert for absolutesweetness.org because Anjali was wanting to hear topics about sweetness and absolute sweetness. So she put the words in my mouth.
And we have a special guest, Jamuna Priya.
And we have a special guest, Jamuna Priya Devirasi, who by direct experience has so many teachings from Gurudev imparted to her. Actually a flowing river of pastimes with Srila Gurudev. Not one or two or three, but
That's why you flushed me in the kitchen.
Oh
a flowing river.
Yeah.
And this is the first time Jamuna's come here to the West London mat.
I know.
But with Gurudev she came to the East London mat on some occasions, certainly more than one.
You mean the Green Street?
Yes.
East London.
East London.
Yeah, I know who that is. Happy days.
Anyway, Anjali wants to hear, and I think her wording was, I want to hear something about sweetness, the absolute sweetness.
Wrong.
So now we should ask Jamuna to say a few words. She's here for one evening.
Well,
wow,
you've already heard me give my speech, but it's just that
Can put
I
this.
want everyone to. I don't need the microphone. It's just.
Well, I know, it feels like that for me. But
Oh, you have to have the microphone.
hello.
You can't get away with that.
But the point is that there are many people who are with us, so and happily.
Being broadcast.
Oh,
Warning. She signed the paper and she volunteered for this.
Try and avoid me in the pic, please.
me too.
Well, you are afraid they'll think you're not 21 years old.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I really wanted to just repeat as often as I can that listening to Gurudev's talks automatically transforms your mind in the most beautiful, positive way. And so this is I'm passing along this prescription or something for everyone, because it's just been incredible for me, even with all my years with Gurudev and getting to hear all of those lectures live and in person. hearing them now, years later, I have a completely different perspective. I am able to absorb so much more than I was before. And even still, I can only absorb the tiniest fraction of what he's giving us anyway. Even when I go through these lectures for hours, there's just so much in there. And really, if we all spent our whole lives listening every day, we would maybe start to get a little bit of what he's giving us. But I feel like it's just so important that we keep listening to him, and I feel like if we're grateful for what he did by giving these incredible teachings to us with so much love and affection, then I feel like a very tiny duty we can perform. We can thank him by listening to those talks that he gave, because that was his intention. He was leaving, you can hear it very clearly. He had an intention every day when he sat there before he started talking. He had a subject in mind that he wanted to talk about, and it was very intentional. It's amazing, because when you hear him speak, it doesn't come across so much because he's so approachable, and he speaks in like a friendly, intimate style. But so anyhow, I just lost my train of thought thinking about that. So
He's giving a really powerful message, but he's looking like he's just...
Yeah, exactly. The message, he was really trying, his intention was really that we would be hearing the lessons that he's giving us, and he tried so hard to give those to us. So I'm just asking, please try to take what he's giving us and spend some time with that. And you can, I'm sure many people have seen, it's on the wall of Villa Govinda, but he wrote some handwritten instructions, I think to your mom maybe. And think seriously about your spiritual life is one of them. And I always think about that. And this is something that he repeats again and again. I feel like this is a running theme in his lectures. And one way that is super easy for us to spend some time seriously thinking about our spiritual life is to just listen to his talks. It is so easy. So that's all I have to say about that. Please listen. Thank you.
Absolute sweetness.
Yes. It has transformed my life, really. And I wish that for you.
There is a reflection we can think about how it is amazing we can hear Gurudev today. You can think that 100 years ago, or 150 years ago maybe, if somebody really wants to look in the history book, then and for thousands of years, the only people who would be able to hear what is in the ether, what had been said 20, 30, 40 years ago, the only people who would be able to hear that, like word for word, and with everything, the intonation, all those things, would actually be the very few perfected yogis who had some mystic capacity, as Gurudev would say, to tune in their radio. That everything is recorded in the ether. Everything is recorded in the ether. And only yogis would have been able to hear what had been said 20, 30, or even a year ago, but any time ago. And we are in a very special time where there is an ocean of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj's lectures, which when we hear today, we are listening in a way that only yogis could do before. So we should not just take it for granted. I know that the modern age, the children are brought up with, and they know reality practically as being able to record things straight away. But if we look at what has been allowed, we can say Mahaprabhu has allowed all of this. Like Guru Maharaj told that if you remove if you remove Krishna, he's saying, the Lord from the background, then even the yogis with their great tapasya and the meditation, the other karmis who are trying to do things to get some result. All of this, it just falls flat. Everything has got Krishna behind it. He's the source of everything. So we want to try to appreciate that Mahaprabhu has allowed this technology at this time. And so Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was like the sadhu, and absolutely pure sadhu from the very beginning, who made the world aware, utilized these things, but in the proper way. As he was staying in Radhakund, in a very small bungalow, when we go there, a small house, but driving in a motor car, but utilizing, showing in a very strong way to utilize all these modern things. So we can now in our pocket have hundreds of hours, I know, because I have in my pocket hundreds of hours of recordings, and what to speak of hundreds of hours of texts, the whole Bhagavatam, the whole everything else. So we should try to utilize that. We have 24 hours in a day, and we can try to make at least some of our time. We hear Raghunath Das Goswami, he engaged in service 22.5 hours in a day, 1.5 for any bodily needs, which presumably means eating, bathing, sleeping, like this. And very often we can say the opposite is happening. Devotee thinks I spent 1.5 hours doing service and 22.5 hours, they think, oh, I did 1.5 hours service, this is very good. So we try to utilize our time also and be a little self-disciplined in the sense of it's an urgent thing to do. We have so much facility, it doesn't get better than this. So the audios, there are videos also, and they're all transportable for us.
I'm not so hot on all the techno because, I don't know, but when I'm reading, I'm hearing Gurudev's voice, it's like he's reading, I'm hearing him. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
definitely.
I'm now going to progress. I'm going to buy myself. I've given my headphones away. So I'm going to go directly to the ear, and I'm, instead of hearing it from the page, which is the wonderful thing about today. But I can hear it.
Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Anyway, we've come here just for a few words. We just came back from Harinam Sankirtan in London City and distributed through mainly Sachi. She's somehow or another, if Sachi offers somebody a little leaflet thing,
They can't say
I mean, a few people say no, but politely, but so many people take something from her. And so many smiling faces today, so many good things.
Happy to see us, most of the people.
Yeah, even the police, you saw the police were there with their guns, and I don't know where they were going, but the guys were smiling at us, at least the front guy was smiling, looking at us and smiling. Govinda.
I mean, there is so much more coming from the audio than can possibly get down on the page, in the books, of Gurudev's particular writings.
Well,
more audio, isn't it?
We have an example recently. Vishaka posted something, but it was with the transcript. And first, I had it there with the transcript. So first I read the transcript, and I didn't have the chance at that time to listen to the audio. Then later that day, in the afternoon or evening or something, I had the chance to listen to the audio. And I'd already read the transcript, and very happy to read it. But when I heard the audio, it was something in addition. And you can see the transcript was fine. It wasn't the transcript was wrong. But as you say, when you hear it, you can hear the expression and so much more.
It must be.
So it is a miracle of the modern age. Only the perfected yogis can do this. Don't get too proud.
What?
Said, don't get too proud.
Oh my God, not I. I smashed my head on the ground. I'm useless, nothing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Die with it.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
I am nothing.
Well, now we understand you have taken to heart what Gurudev stressed also when we hear the talks. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not wanting honor for ourselves.
Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. That was always like. Try to do that.
Hare Krishna. So that was your question. Who else has a question? Jamuna, please, here just for one evening, you can ask her a question.
I have a question.
Govinda. But seeing this place, when I first saw this place, I really thought, seeing from the outside, again, I saw photographs of here, and seeing photographs, and saw the photographs of the development. We'd seen photographs, but my first time when I came here, I remember, the first impression outside, it feels so much like a religious place. It feels so appropriate. The outside design, the doorway, all the things, it just fits into the whole theme, and it's right by the airport. It's quicker to walk from Terminal. I landed at Terminal 5. It's quicker to walk than to get a taxi. And it's a beautiful walk, except you got to cross the crazy road at the beginning. The monster cars coming to eat the humans.
Yeah, right.
But once you can cross that road, it's just a walk by the canal. Then I just thought, really, this was Gurudev's last wish manifested, and it was signed. Something was signed on the actual day he departed. And
What did you say before?
something of the paperwork was signed.
The paperwork. The paperwork.
Oh.
Official documents on the actual, but by coincidence, it's coincidence, but on the day he passed away. And by the way, you remember that I always belong, I'm always with you, which that thing. That is dated the 27th of March of a previous year, 2006 or 2007. When he wrote that little thing to somebody
He
in
wrote it
Russia.
once, actually.
Maybe more than once, but this one time anyway, it was dated 27th of March, his date of disappearance. And the calendar, the calendar is still amazing. When do you ever get a calendar with one day missing on the calendar? And that year, on our maths calendar, 27th of March, it was missing off the calendar.
Ramachandra still has that calendar.
I know, it's a bit of a sad calendar actually in a way. It's a sad calendar to keep, but at the same time it's one of those mystic things.
It's proof of a miracle.
Proof, yeah.
What was it? Oh, okay, got you.
All right, then we can sing Hari Harai Nama Krishna. Oh, Jamuna Priya to sing Hari Harai Nama Krishna. You have been voted by the manager of the West London chapter.
Anyone but me.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Maharaj, London chapter ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol, Hari Harai Nama Krishna, Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Radhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghunatha. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha. Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vandan. Jaha hoite Vigna Nasha Vishta Puran. Jai Gosai Jave, Jai Gosai Jar Bhuitarada. Tasvara Padare Numora Panchagas. Tarira Charana Sebi Bhakta Saneva. Janame Mora He Abila. Jai Gosai Jabe Brache Koilaba. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash. Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Machayaman. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya. Hari Nam Sankirtana Kohe Narottamada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. And on my little phone, I have the folder of absolute sweetness. Absolute sweetness, well, different times, but this is from 1904 onwards. And with my bookmarks inside and
It really
all.
helps me keep going to know people are listening, so that helps too. Thank you.
And bookmarks inside. Oh, Gurudev chanting Sharirara Vidyajal.
That's funny. I haven't heard that one.
Yes, you have. It's all on your website.
Oh, it must be that long one.
Huh? The date of it, it was within the date that he spoke on 23/4/2007. And then Gurudev recommending, this one is for class, another class, all entity in consciousness. Pranam mantra of Krishna And look, this is how the loudspeakers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So here, Pranam Mantra of Krishna.
Wow.
So this is from absolutesweetness.org and Gurudev speaking.
Pranam Mantra of Sri Krishna. Namo Brahmano Devaya Gu Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo. This is the Pranam Mantra of Krishna. Everything is miracle actually. When we will remember Narayan, then much opulence come to us. By the grace of Lakshmi Devi, everything is very opulent and glorious. Everywhere, much wealth. Materially, Lakshmi Devi conquered whole opulent and given, showing to everyone. But here is very miracle that everything opulent, full of opulent within Vrindavan. But when necessary it's coming in front, otherwise always it is a hiding way. That Vrindavan, that in Vrindavan. Very gloriously and widely expressed simply about the opulence of Govinda Dham and where is living Sri Govinda. Chintamani Prakara Sadamasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshabhriteshu Surabhi Rabhipalayantam. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambhrama Seppamana. One Lakshmi, full of opulent, we will see in the Narayan lotus feet. But here in Vrindavan, Lakshmi Sahasra Shata, million of Lakshmi, they are serving Govindam, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adi Purusha.
Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. That was 3 minutes of your life. And you see, it can make a whole difference. Try to listen every morning to something. Start our day. Morning shows the day. We have heard this from Gurudev's lotus lips also. Morning shows the day. And about having a theme, sometimes in the beginning of the lecture, or the lecture means the talk, Gurudev is saying, there's something I want to say, but I'm wondering how to say it, this kind of way. So sometimes it is clear he's got something on his mind, and sometimes it is clear from just the talk that he's making a point to come to. So many treasures.
And it's addictive also. I really want to say, if you start listening when you wake up first thing in the morning, then the next day or some days when you wake up and there's this like time where you're deciding where to put your mind, but eventually you crave that. You just want to put your mind there first thing in the morning because it's the best.
And there is another thing which I now use. I use these Bluetooth headphones. which means you don't have to have the wires hanging out all the time. And really, I found it, like as an experiment I tried, but I found it very useful.
I use wireless headphones also.
Hmm?
I use wireless headphones also.
You use wireless
Yeah.
headphones, yeah, because then you're independent of the actual
Really
machine.
things where you're listening.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
And there are things you can do which don't take much brain power. You know, while you're doing your laundry, hanging out the laundry, I mean, all sorts of things like this. Anyhow, Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gauranga Radha Giridhari Ju ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, all the unassembled devotees, and all who are with us here and around and about ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Prasadam Seva. Here we're going to have Prasadam Seva. At home, I'm sorry, we cannot offer anything. We cannot offer anything on a plate to you, but offer our good wishes to everybody.